Yeah, the whole blockchain. What? The Acme House?
Glitter.
There's, although looking at that has
Glitter.
totally got me in the mood for lobster now.
Glitter.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't even willingly
Glitter.
do glitter. It just shows up like on ornaments
It's
and stuff. Have you noticed
secondary
that?
glitter, third year glitter.
It's secondary glitter
It is
infection.
It's like
so
secondary
creepy.
frag injury. It's secondary. It's secondary.
That
yeah.
sounds so like unhygienic when you do it like
It is.
that.
It is unhygienic. It's glitter.
All right, it's the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. Happy Monday. Of course, this is Cyber Monday, and one of my favorite things about it is you can shop in your underwear.
Cyber Monday. It's a robot thing.
Really? That was really good.
I never get to do that
And in
enough.
any case, I thought this perfectly fits in because my friend Linda Rawson wrote a new book along with Jason Woodland and Tim Roberry. It would be this one, Yoshi to the Moon. It's a blockchain adventure book for your kids. Now, here's the thing. Every one of us wants our kids to be smarter than we were, right? I mean, that's important. That's what
They
you
already
want.
are.
It's not that hard.
Oh.
But cryptocurrency, which is online currency, is going to be part of the reality of the future. I mean, Bitcoin, almost everyone's heard about. There's already virtual ATMs here in Salt Lake City. Virtual ATMs. So here's the deal. They wanted to start writing kids' books that taught them about blockchaining, about cryptocurrency in a way they would understand and that we might pick up as parents helping them read it.
Isn't cryptocurrency the thing that killed Superman?
No, baby. That's not what it is. Anyway, have a look. It's amazing. So let's settle it here before we go any further. First of all, the name of the book, Toshi to the Moon. It's a blockchain adventure, and this is essentially for children about 6 to 11 that will get them started on the understanding of cryptocurrency. First question, explain blockchain, and remember you're speaking to adults who have apparently learned so much that now it's coming out the top of our ears, and that's why I can't tie my own shoes or work a doorbell. So let's go slow. What is blockchain?
Blockchain, in its most simplified form, is a database. And that's the highest level view of it.
Okay.
It's easy to complicate and it's easy to get into the weeds on, but in essence it's a database and or digital ledger that anything like a cryptocurrency could work from, smart contracts, decentralized applications, etc.
The whole goal here is that you're starting to make kids comfortable with this language and have an understanding of what happens. So when you go through the book, what are Toshi's adventures that he's working on?
Toshi goes on an adventure with his dog Doge, and he has a fantastic dream one night and dreams up the algorithm. And then him and Doge proceed on their adventures to go to the moon. That's their whole object. And so during their adventures, there's of course a bad guy, Mr. Cloud, who destroys their prototype, and then along the way, they mine enough Bitcoin to buy pizza.
I noticed that. Yeah, take a break.
Which is another historical fact. The very first Bitcoin transaction was to buy pizza.
Oh, that's hysterical.
It was actually 10,000 Bitcoins to buy 2 pizzas.
Yeah.
Just for reference, how much would a single Bitcoin be worth now? Because I've been doing mining for, and I think I've got like a 100th billionth of one. So what is, in US dollars, what is one Bitcoin worth right now?
As of this moment, about $4,200, which is
That's a lot of pizza.
overall still really high, but as of recent, because we've been in a bear market for 2018, but we've seen a huge dip over this last 5 days.
So Mr. Cloud appeared, destroyed their work. You'll never succeed, he said with a smirk. And so, of course, our beloved Toshi was refusing to agree with that. And so he continued to fight, and with Doge. And so they actually, the story is really cool to me because number one, it's an essential story of a child, faithful companion, adversity, having to fight against challenges, succeeding, following your dreams.
Yep.
So for any standard kid, that's like, this is awesome.
Yep.
But the fact that you're teaching so much technology at the same time is really interesting because anytime you can slide in knowledge along with entertainment with a child is like art for me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard because they can smell it, that you're trying to make them learn something. So what's been the response so far with some of the kids you guys have worked with?
They love it. We've had some people send us some pictures of the kids, and they run around with it, and it's really, really fun. It's one of the most rewarding things about writing a children's book.
Oh, I love this. Now, so where would you like to see this go? Do you guys think it would be fun to develop like a series that kind of starts
Yes.
slowly educating more?
Yes.
Because at this point, I'm thinking a young adult novel would be next, because now you've got to tackle the teenagers, because they're ones who are really going to start moving faster. What's your next vision?
You know, maybe a video game or something along those lines. But
You know, when your brain starts working, it freaks me out, because your eyes start going back and forth, like you're watching tennis at Wimbledon or something, and you're like, oh my God, her mind's sparking.
here it is!
It's true. Video game's not a bad idea, though. The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com. And by Brio Technologies. They rent, sell, and install audiovisual components, including professional sound, lighting, video, and intercom systems, components, projectors, interactive whiteboards, and classroom audio systems. Just go to BrioAudiovisual.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
Time for Tell Me Something Good, brought to you by PC Laptops, our dear friend Dan at PCLaptops.com. Do you know they've got 8 locations along the Wasatch Front, and they can start building you a
Would not want a new computer for Christmas.
a laptop or a desktop as low as $7.99 with lifetime parts and labor warranty.
All right, tell me something good.
I'm so in love with this that I can hardly stand it. Okay, you know when you go into IKEA and they
Oh,
have all
no,
these
don't.
lovely little rooms all set up.
And you get lost and you
it's
can
just
never
like,
find your way
oh
out.
no, but it's like consumer lust, and you want to sit in that little perfect kitchen or that delightful, designer living room, and it's just glorious. Well, there is an IKEA store in Italy that has taken this one step further. It's in Catania. And when you go in there, and like, for instance, they'll have all the beautiful soft rugs and then the fake fireplace and stuff. And you'll see a dog lounging on the fur like this.
Ah, fake dog.
Just perfect. Or perhaps the dog is kneeling and resting at the corner of your bed.
Do they sell fake dogs?
And it's so cute, because people are like, oh my God, look at this, what great props. And then they
Fake
realize
dog.
the dogs are alive. And they're
What?
like, they have stunt dogs. They have prop dogs. That is so beautiful.
What do you mean they have prop dogs?
Here's the reality. What really happened is that Marcine Tracia, as one of the shoppers there, and she realized there were like 40 of these dogs kind of lounging and resting around IKEA, and she finally asked an employee,
Not lounging, they're homeless, right?
what's going on here? They said they take in stray dogs off the street, homeless dogs. They give them a grooming, they give them something to eat, and then they get to sleep. They get to sleep in the various locations around IKEA.
Hello, yes.
They say that we feel like it humanizes the store for people, and that it makes them feel more comfortable in these images and these scenes and settings that we're creating.
great.
And it's also giving the dogs safe, comfortable places.
Yeah.
And they said they're really happy. They can go out to do their business or whatever.
Sure.
But they come back in, they feel like they belong there.
That's what you're trying to make me believe, isn't
And
it?
eventually, after a while, a lot of people will adopt them, and it's really sweet. I just think this is so adorable.
Okay, excuse me. First of all, the dogs are scared to death and they want to leave. They just don't know how to get out like me when I go to IKEA. There's no way out of that store.
We'd like to leave.
It's confusing enough. The shopping carts do sideways and front and back. It's bad enough. But now they've trapped dogs. Someone should be called on this. The Italian authorities. Someone is trapping dogs in a maze.
I think the Italian outlet for IKEA is beautiful, and thank you guys for telling us. It's an amazing idea, and I hope they come up with it here down in Riverton. It would be fantastic.
All right. So I wanted to ask you: has your GPS ever led you astray?
Daily. Remember that one time we were in Boston and we just had to take the freeway loop to get to the airport, and instead it redirected us through downtown?
It says if you want to be delayed by a freighter with a bridge going up and having to go underneath the
It
bridge,
sent us to the docks.
go there, go to the commercial wharf area, and then sit there. And we met some really nice people.
Lovely people, because we were sitting there for how long? While
40 minutes, 45 minutes.
the barge went through it, a stately, majestic.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Though. It was really cool. But this lady in Pennsylvania had a similar issue, and some people follow directions really well.
And that's probably wonderful for people who do certain kinds of jobs, or children who are rebellious. But in this particular case,
Zoe,
perhaps,
would you please go into the other room and bring me a beverage? And she would do it and come back. It'd be great. Following directions. The lady in Pennsylvania did that, and she came up and the GPS said turn left, and then she did. Down a railroad track.
what?
Just in case you haven't been around a railroad track for a while. You know rumble strips that they carve into the asphalt?
There's some decisive attention if you land on one. Yeah.
If you go in between lanes, sometimes they have them there, and it's like, or if you go to the other side, and it wakes you up, and you get back in the middle. railroad ties are spaced about 2 feet apart. They're 4 to 6 inches high.
So it's like the rumble strip from hell.
It will break your car at any speed. And she's just
She kept going.
ripping down it. And the police stopped her and they said, well, what are you doing? And she wasn't drunk. she wasn't impaired in any fashion, except for she likes to follow directions.
So she was completely sober, but she insisted this is where her GPS sent her, and by God, she was going to follow it.
Well, it's like that guy who drove into a lake. He says, take a right, and he went, okay. Except I think he was impaired.
Probably so.
Anyway.
Wow.
I have got the best story of the month.
Now, you live for this kind of thing. This is
I
like
want
your
you
dream.
to think about this because it is a moral issue. What would you do?
Well, my moral compass is non-existent, so that's not a problem.
This is my new story thing called "What Would You Do?" And you have to do that when you do it.
That's true.
All right. So, storage wars. You ever seen the TV show? So basically, what happens is if you have a storage unit and you sign a contract, and when you sign the contract, it says that you will pay X amount of dollars a month. If you go in arrears. There is a clause that says, after a certain amount of time, I don't know if it's 90 days, I don't know if it's 6 months, I don't know if it's 8 months. The property then owns the storage unit with everything you own.
We can sell all your stuff.
We own your stuff, and people sign it so it's legal.
It's essentially just like a pawn shop, except for you didn't get any money at the start, but they still end up getting your stuff no matter what.
And maybe you've made an automatic payment thing with your credit card. That's great. And maybe, we had to change credit cards. Because you lost one. And then no one contacts you. And then it goes up for auction because that's what happens on a certain Saturday.
Sure.
All these people show up and they go, locker number 42.
And this is where the big show Storage Wars comes from, right? Where they run around and they buy stuff basically unseen.
You can't go in. You only can look. You see like the handlebars of a motorcycle or something. You're like, I'm going to go. And this one in the corner, and they made it visible, there was a safe. And so the people went, okay.
That's cool, but who would be dumb enough to actually store anything
We're gonna
valuable
take a shot.
in a safe in a storage
We'll take a
unit?
shot. Yeah.
Come on.
Put out 5 bills for it, $500. And they took
That's
it.
brave.
And they threw it all in a truck like you do. You have to get it off the premises. And they took it off the premises and they took it to a locksmith. And they said, this is ours. Bill of sale. This is where we got it. Because criminals would do that.
Locksmiths would prefer you explain these things, sure.
So the locksmith did his thing and he opened it up. And inside they spent how much money did I say? They bought it for $500.
Sure.
$7.5 million were in the safe.
Someone stored $7.5 million in a safe they stuck in a storage unit,
And
they forgot to
about it.
pay for it.
Right.
Who forgets $7.5 million?
Such a great
Nobody forgets $7.5 million.
All right, so let's follow this through really quick, okay?
So these guys are wetting themselves, or essentially I would be. So what happens now?
So I think it's more than wedding. So let's follow the thing. The legality here is that the person who used to own the safe gave it up because they had signed a contract with the storage unit owner. The owner then transferred that property to the person who bought it at the auction legally.
Bill of sale, sure.
They now own it. Oh my gosh. In a very short period of time,
$7.5 million.
they were contacted by an attorney.
Oh, that's my client stuff.
Basically, that's what they said.
Who is rich enough to just keep $7.5 million sitting in a safe in a storage unit unless you're like a mobster or you stole it?
I gotta think you're a mobster or something. So the
Although
point
probably
being,
not, because the lawyer wouldn't be the one contacting you. It would be a guy with a crowbar. But anyway, so go on.
no,
What
it
happens?
actually would be a lawyer. And the lawyer contacted me and said, I tell you what we're gonna do. We'll give you $600,000 and you give us the money back.
That's adorable.
Now, at this point, I'm
I own
thinking,
this.
now I know it's dirty money. Now I know it's a cartel. Now I know it's something. But then I start thinking to myself, for $7 million, I can hire meaner people than they can.
Pretty much, I can tie this sucker up in court because I've got money to pay an attorney.
I'm not doing court. I'm doing castle fortress. I'm doing disappear.
I just bought an island and you can't come
I
on
got
it.
$7.4 million.
So what happens next?
So this is the weird thing. They settled for $1.2 million.
Why would you settle? You
I
don't
think-
have to settle. You own it.
I think threats. I think threats would come into play. They could threaten that you got $7.5 million. What can you threaten me with that I
Take
can't
the money
protect?
and run. It's your money. It's not like you're stealing it. You bought it.
Even the guy from the TV show is going, so they offered him and they took the 1.2 million.
No, it's my money now. Unless it's like a
What would
mobster.
you do?
No.
Yeah.
I
but
mean, if it were a mobster, then I would just take it and still hide because I can't imagine they would still be interested in sharing. But
you could become a mobster for 7.2 million.
I've decided to become a mobster.
7.5.
Why would you even settle? You own it.
What would be your name? There's Scarface and there's Whitey and there's all these
I'm
different.
not good with nicknames. Erin never lent itself to a good nickname. God knows my family tried.
Russian butcher, Irish butcher, Irish Erin, Irish butcher.
What do I have to carve up with a knife?
Mm-hmm. The guy who wants your $7.5 million.
That sounds really unhygienic.
What would you do?
Couldn't
Seriously,
I hire
think
someone
about,
else to do it?
Think about it. Think about it. What would you do? And what kind of threat did they make them? Anyway, that's
I want to know.
That's
Let's
you
take
guys
a poll. Seriously, let's take a poll. What would you do? I want to
do
know.
it. Put it on Facebook
That's
with
so
us.
awesome. Okay,
That's-
so because we want to keep giving gifts, do not forget Christopher's Prime Steakhouse. We will be happy to announce a winner on Friday. That's you and 3 of your favorite people going in for dinner. It's a perfect holiday time for it, and then you can go shopping downtown. Just like and share the show today. That's all you need to do, or drop a comment is nice.
The question is, what would they have to say to you that would make you give them back, legally yours, $7.5 million? We'll talk to you tomorrow.